Welcome back. Part of our continuing discussion. We were able to talk to Eric Thomas. He's the director of the Kansas Scholastic Press Association, and he's a lecturer at the William Allen White School of Journalism and Mass Communications at the University of Kansas. We had one question with him. He wrote an article called Post-Roe, Hurting Ourselves Over Politics Will Do Nothing But Further Hurt Us. So he wrote an article, and it was about political division after post-Roe v. Wade. And I asked him, can I ask you a question about it? There's the article, Post-Roe, Hurting Ourselves Over Politics Will Do Nothing But Further Hurt Us. The article said, the reaction to the Supreme Court stripping away a constitutional right to abortion has spurred many apocalyptic forecasts for the country. Most vivid, of course, is the fear that the United States will become a version of Margaret Atwood's 1985 novel, The Handmaid's Tale. One senator has provided a frank and opportunistic vision, Josh Hawley. However, what I see as dystopia, Hawley apparently sees as an improved country. He told Des Rochers in a June 24th piece, I would predict that the effect is going to be that more and more red states are going to become more red, purple states are going to become red, and blue states are going to get a lot bluer, Hawley said. And I would look for Republicans as a result of this to extend their strength in the Electoral College, and that's very good news. So in talking about abortion, Hawley said, I think that the Supreme Court's decision to kick abortion back down to the states will result in red states becoming redder and blue states becoming bluer. And he thinks that's good. Hawley's very good news envisions an already politically segregated America becoming even more polarized across state lines. Your liberal uncle and your conservative cousin would move to different states. Your family geographically herded into places corresponding with each other's politics. If all these predictions come true, we will be living with even more of those effects. If we read The Handmaid's Tale as a cautionary fiction, then how should we consider the big sort when we are on the brink of another big sort? So he's saying America's already divided. And Roe v. Wade, if Hawley's right, will make red states even redder and blue states even redder. So we're already super divided, and it's only going to get worse. And that's bad and scary. That's what he's saying. He also quotes from Bill Bishop. Bishop writes, the country was polarized during the Civil War, but compared to those times, our own 2004 circumstances didn't appear dire. Nearly 2 decades later, we seem awfully diligent about edging closer to that threshold each day, this author says. Regardless, the big sort, despite its name, describes a micro sort compared to what would experience if Americans follow through on this politically segregating by states. So we're already segregated, we're already sorted, and this Roe v. Wade thing is going to cause people to drive away from their states and go to, red states or blue states where they feel that this decision matches their way of life. And so we're going to become even more sorted because of this, and that's bad. So I asked him, request for interview. I read your article. My writing flirts from one topic to another. So what you read is the entirety of my thinking or close to it on polarization. I am most often writing for my kids or some other, but I'm flattered you ask. Your list below is impressive, and I would hate to dilute that. I tried to get him for more of a interview. He wasn't really willing, but I was able to talk to him about his article, and he said, what you read is the entirety of my thinking or close to it on polarization. So here's a professor in Kansas, in the middle of America, who teaches at a university, and he says, wow, we're so polarized already, and this Supreme Court decision could make it even worse, which sends us to an even more super polarized place that none of us can even imagine. And that's what this professor said. So he didn't give me any new information. I more talked about his article and expanded my understanding of it. No new information. We just talked about his article, but he did say, I really believe this, and I really think that this is a problem that could get significantly dire in America. We'll leave it there.